Whoa, that was the intro. Welcome back to Talking Void. Welcome you all in chat. It's quite busy in there already. I'm glad the pre-stream advertisement stated that this was not an in-game video. Not that what quite I was looking for here. Now, well, we have commercials at the start, which is great because that means we are making a little bit of money. A very little bit, but it doesn't matter. Hello, welcome to Talking Void with my guest Roger. It's listed here under with Roger in a black screen, as you can see, which is part of one of the several reveals we'll be having this episode. Yes, party hat. You see, you saw my party hat. You know why I have a party hat on? You know it, Roger.
She didn't have any more band-aids?
No, that's not it. Okay. It's because it is, if you are having your birthday in November, then I'm going to celebrate your birthday in November day. It's not my birthday.
Not your birthday yet?
No, it's Sunday. It's my birthday. Yeah. Yesterday was my wife's birthday. My daughter was had her birthday earlier in November, and I've been married for 9 years in November. So it's a celebration of me. And all the other people who have something to do.
Michelle's wife.
Michelle's wife. Oh yeah, that's right. Congratulations, Amber. Yeah, true.
Yeah, tomorrow I think, like 25th, right?
Yeah.
But congratulations all round.
Congratulations to everybody. So that's why I'm wearing this. It was a surprise for Roger again because I just put it up, of course.
I feel underdressed now.
Yeah, you feel underdressed. I know. That's why I'm doing it, right? So welcome back to TV. So the first reveal I'm going to do is this one. Ba-ba!
Wow.
There we go. And now we are like Talking Void 2.0. We are so well into this show and it's so smooth right now. And well, actually, our screens are smaller, but the thingy in the bottom is bigger. And there's this slideshow in the left corner. So that's cool.
Fancy.
Fancy, yes.
Fancy,
and our names are listed under our portraits, which means that I really don't need the with Roger anymore below, because we all know that I'm talking to Roger right now. This is the result. And I'm very glad with it. Keep track of the background, by the way, because that's cool as well. So, Talking Void. Let's do some socials first before we dive into the show and do our other reveals, because I want to do that after the introduction. So we have socials.
Yeah, we do.
Are you going to talk about them or am I?
Do you think that I should talk about socials? I think I'm a little least... Okay, maybe Chin is worse than me, but... we have socials, so follow us on them. There's an Instagram, there's Facebook. We have our own Discord, which is kind of like the nexus of everything we do. You can find all of our artwork on there and our socials, as well as... some D&D stuff from our campaign. You can find all of that on our Instagram as well. But we would like to see our Discord become more live, if possible.
Yeah. Let me do the Twitch thing. So we also have a Twitch thing, which is what you're watching this on. You're on Twitch right now. So welcome. And on Twitch, you can do two things. You can follow us and you can subscribe to us. You can also click the bell if you want. Anyway, we would be very glad if you followed us, even more glad if you subscribe to us, but that's all up to you. But if you have a Twitch Prime account and you can throw that free subscription our way, we are very appreciative of that. And it's like building a community, and the more followers you have, the higher you get into the listing, the more followers you gain. And we love how we are building this community. So, thanks.
Yeah, thanks for all support.
JT Jet says Discord has lots of cool art. Yeah, you are a member of our Discord, JT Jet, and I appreciate you for that. We are really connecting right now. But that sounded silly. We're always connecting in a way. What I mean, as the Voidcast, we are really getting a community around us, and we are really invested in you guys, and you're really invested in us. So I appreciate that very much. That's what I wanted to say. But it came out wrong because I'm a Dutchie and not an Englishie. So there we go. Anyway, let's go to the intro. Right?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. And we are back with Roger again. You see it on the bottom of the screen?
I'm still here. I'm
you're
not
still
running
here
away this time.
Well, you did it on the previous episode. You ran away?
No.
Must have been during the commercial break, I think, which is about 30 minutes in and takes about 15 minutes. Then I might have ran away as well, so I didn't even notice it. Anyway, special announcement. This time we are going to talk to Roger, of course. But next time we'll be talking to Dungeon Master Dave. Not to be mistaken for Swiss Dave, who is apparently an expert in martial arts using a Swiss knife. DM Dave from Careful Cantrip. And we are so glad that Careful Cantrip will be joining us on this talk show. Michel will be my guest as well. So it will be 3 of us, and we'll be discussing something which we will say something about later at the end of the show.
Yeah.
No, we will do so. Well, maybe.
But it's awesome. It's our first community guest. And we're really grateful that they said yes. And I'm sure it's going to be a lot of fun.
I know it's going to be a lot of fun. They have their own stream on Twitch where they do a lot of things, and one of them is an actual play series like ours, but they have a weekly schedule, and they are on episode 6 right now, and they are doing a lot of other things as well. So we are hoping for more of these community-based, how do you say?
Interactions,
yes, that's what I should call them, and you just did. Anyway, Careful Cantrip on our next show in 2 weeks at 9 o'clock. And
awesome.
Awesome. Want something? You want to add something to that, Roger?
No, I already said it's awesome, and it's our first community interaction, so I'm really looking forward to it. And so is he. He says, can't wait in chat. So
that's a she, actually.
Oh, she. Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
But so the person in chat is not DM.
No, that's not DM Dave. Or it might be that he's there as well. But Ilara is the one who does the Careful Cantrip things, or the one who plays Ilara on the. It's Rena, and she plays Ilara. Yeah.
So makes sense now.
Hey.
Thanks for clearing that up.
Yeah. I was getting there, but well, you know me, chaos.
Yeah.
Somewhat. It's really strange because I don't identify myself with chaos when I do normal stuff, like manage a library and everything. But when I do these kinds of show, I get in some kind of strange, excited mood, and I just keep talking and talking and talking and talking.
Yeah, that's called adrenaline.
Oh, it's called adrenaline. That's why I'm doing it. Well, then hopefully once we get to episode 100, the adrenaline will have died down, and I will just talk like...
Wait, you actually hope that? I thought you were relishing in this chaos.
Well, you know, times and everything.
Please. Oh, man.
Oh. Time, don't let it slip away. Raise your drinking glass.
Sorry for interrupting, but pleasant news is DM Dave in chat.
Yeah,
so,
I just saw. So
hey to him
you'll be on
well.
our show. How much fun. Okay, so, that was our special announcement. Now I'm going to announce the topic of this episode is topic? No? Yeah. That sounded strange as well.
It was strange, Jasper.
And it is, what was the best boss you have ever encountered and why? But we'll do that after we'll be discussing the previous episode of the Precipice of Dreams, which we will launch into now. And that one was called The Maze. So, Roger.
It was amazing.
Excellent. So, was it though?
Yeah, it was really fun for me. It was. I mean, doing puzzles is always kind of tricky because usually they're either too hard or too easy, and finding the right level is really hard. But it was nice to see you mess around at first, and I was actually kind of surprised that you did you transitioned like 5 rooms correctly without ever having seen any clues, and that even confused you more and more because it didn't make any sense.
We thought we had to walk backwards and everything just to get something done, and then So it was amazing. I thought so as well. But the funny thing is that Jasper, that's me, the host of the show, me, Roger, keep looking at me. Anyway, Jasper really likes riddles. Oh, he likes them so much. And Bowen, the Bowen that's not here, likes riddles as well. But the Bowen that is here in this maze doesn't give a crap. And that was pretty hard to play because I was
no, I don't care. Yeah,
I don't care.
Yeah, I noticed.
Let's just go. Come on.
But you figured it out really quickly, or at least the group figured it out really quickly.
I had it 5 minutes before they had it, but
Yeah, of course you did. But
no, it's not true.
No, but that makes me think it was too easy.
Yeah, but was it though?
Yeah, I don't know. I think if it made it more complicated, then it would have gone far. And that's exactly what I mean. It's either too easy or too hard. And we're with a group of pretty smart people. If I'm, to put it lightly. And that makes it even harder.
There's one who kind of drags the intelligence below 0 sometimes, but I will not call him Michel. Call him by his name. I'm just,
Yeah. That's that's okay. I know what you mean.
Yeah, true. Anyway, no, just kidding. Just kidding, Michel. They are all talking about the art and how it's so cool. So I hope Erik is here as well, or will join us later, because it's Erik who does that, and Michel makes the videos out of his art and his own music. So we like that very much, how we can make our own show with all original content. And the funny thing is, to get back to the maze, because we're going off track again, is that you said it will take 5 minutes or 5 days.
Yeah, 5 sessions. Yeah,
5 sessions. Yeah, well.
Yeah, that's what I meant with either too easy or too hard.
So I think we're getting there. I hope we'll be getting there in like 2 episodes. And I think, this is where we get this thing where if you were around a table, you wouldn't be too bothered if it lasted 5 sessions, but maybe 5 sessions in a maze, tripping over the sim or mistakes, getting to encounter the spiders again and again, would be a bit boring for a stream.
Yeah, I guess so. And that's something I was kind of worried about, but there were some contingencies in place. I'm not going to mention what they were, but
Okay. So we could have failed, and then it was okay.
yeah, you could have died. I mean, every time you failed, there would be more spiders, and yeah.
Death is the best contingency, Roger. It's the best contingency. They're saying it in chat as well. All who watched it seem to have liked it very much. So that's
thanks.
cool.
I enjoyed myself as well. It was really funny.
Yeah,
it was especially funny that seeing you doing the maze correctly for 5 rooms in a row without having any hints or any idea what was going on. It was
pure luck. Yeah.
Sometimes you can have a lot of fun behind the DM screen, but you can't share it with anyone. Yeah, I can share it now, but not at the time. And it was, I had a lot of fun.
Yeah. So do you think this takes from the experience or not? Let's ask chat. Now that you know that we did 5 rooms in a row by accident, what do you think of that? I don't think it takes from the experience. It adds to the experience. No, it adds. I want to provoke a dialogue.
You want to provoke discussion? Yeah, okay. No.
What are you saying, Jasper? Stupid
like
man.
That. Yeah, no. I don't think it does.
Yeah.
I think it adds. Like I said, I had so much fun because of it.
Yeah. Well, me as well. So what else happened? There was a lot of nice fighting and friendly interaction.
Yeah, friendly.
I just really love this group. They are also such a tight-knit group, you know. I really love it. I just feel so at home.
Yeah. It's Solwing is my friend again.
Solwing is my friend. He gives me food. Man. I love food. Yeah.
It still reminds me of the Viseman for our Dutch audience.
Yeah. Well, talking about the Viseman, it also reminds me a bit of Trump. So that's a strange connection.
Okay.
It's the best food.
Yeah, let's not get political here.
Let's not do that. Let's not do that. And let's not identify Bowen with him in any way. I'm my own man.
But something special happened with Bowen as well during the episode.
What do you mean?
Well, he was already kind of thin, but he became even thinner.
Yeah, but I compensated with my length because I suddenly was 2 meters and 30 centimeters tall, give or take, which is about 8 feet. Yeah, I really like doing that, and I really loved the expression on Eric's face when I did so. Especially
he was disgusted.
He was disgusted. Yeah. So the funny thing is that when it happened, it was quite a rush for me. It was quite a different kind of rush for the others, and I really felt in my element. And the first thing they all said is, "Well, you can do everything." And then we had quite a lot of discussion.
That's what Michelle
afterwards.
says in the chat.
Yeah, the shadow man that can appear. Oh, yeah, there we go. Synchronicity. Anyway, and we had a talk about this afterwards. I had a talk about it on parallel projections yesterday with Michelle, because he said, "Well, you can apparently do anything," and that's not true.
No, it's not. I know what he is. I know what he can do and what he can't do. And you can actually see it during the battle. He swapped forms. He swapped back into his normal form, to cast spells, because he couldn't in that other form.
Oh, and it was too dangerous to stay in that form. And I have to optimize my positioning to do a lot of damage as well. So there are all these drawbacks and there are all these perks as well, of course. And that's when, as you might have noticed by now, 3 of us are multi-class characters. And although you get a broad scope of what you can do, the power level of individual skills is just a bit less. And you see that with Bowen, the Darkheart Bowen, he's a single class, and that makes him a bit more powerful on the level of his singular features, but his hit points aren't that high.
Nope.
Is it like Peter Pan and his shadow got away?
He is entirely homebrew. That's
he is homebrew. Yeah.
That's kind of interesting.
So
and
that was the other discussion that we had, because homebrew, you can build a very powerful class, for example, and then take it yourself, and then you say, "Here, I can do everything." But but do you think it's overpowered, Roger?
No, I don't. I helped you with that class, and I saw it evolve over the last couple of years, and I don't think it's overpowered at all. It's a really well balanced class, and it's interesting to play as well.
Yeah.
So both of us are DMs, and we just have a feel for what's overpowered and not, and we even have discussions between us to whether something is overpowered. So we always have this
back and forth.
Back and forth, and so we don't fall into tunnel vision, so to speak.
Yeah.
And that helps a lot, but it's always with homebrew, unless you've extensively tested it, it's the real test is when you start playing.
Yeah, true. So and then we still have to get to the higher levels as well. So
yeah, exactly.
Curious to know what will happen. I think it's okay, but you never know. Always exceptions. Yeah, but it's
maybe
pretty easy to design
there.
something in 5th edition. Yeah, maybe.
Oh yeah, 5th edition. Has this really easy framework to work within, and with stuff like bounded accuracy, it makes it a lot easier to see what's overpowered and what's not.
So bounded accuracy, for those who are not a dungeon master, is the skill in which you calculate the bonuses you will gain on your character, in a way, and they will almost never surpass the result you can get on the D20. So never more than a plus 20 bonus to a check. Although there are some exceptions when expertise comes in and you have just too high stats and everything, then you can get over that. But almost never.
It's really hard to get over 19, even. It's really hard to get 19, and it's even harder to get above that.
Yeah, well, you can do it with, for example, if you have a class that gives you advantage in athletics and you have a strength of 28 because you are expertise in athletics.
Strength is a word stat in that regard. Because you can't do that with wisdom or intelligence, because classes would be too powerful because of saving throws. Yeah. But we're not here to discuss this. This is something for another show.
Maybe it's for another show. Let's do that. DM workshop. But for this show, it's interesting because we always get distracted and So back to the game then. Back to the maze. I loved the episode. I was really chill when I played it. I really liked how Altreef totally talked like I wasn't there. And I'm such a nice guy, so I'm right here. And I'm such a nice guy, so I don't understand. Which is,
but you're creepy, man.
But I'm doing all the right stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You're doing the right stuff the wrong way.
What's even wrong?
Yeah, that's yeah.
But it's interesting. Yeah. Yes, I'm just misunderstood. Careful, cantrip. Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm a nice guy, but I just look horrible. But we don't judge people by their appearance. We judge them by their actions, right? And my actions were good. Mm-hmm. So I'm good. Yeah. So do you want to say anything else about the episode, or?
No.
I like what you said.
What did you think of the riddle? I mean, the riddle itself.
Like me?
Yeah, like Jasper, but I mean, I don't.
Well, I like the riddle because, when I hear a riddle such as that, I'm starting to think: is there a catch or isn't there a catch? What is right? What is left? But that indeed became clear once we came out of the same entrance after a while. Then you know what left and right is, but at the start you have to figure that out, and then the moon phases, you have to keep track of that. And so I thought, oh man, we might be at it for quite a while, but when it went wrong, we understood why it went wrong. We haven't discussed this in game yet, but it was quite obvious in a way. So I think it's a manageable, good riddle. And of course, I love the text as well, just how it was worded, which we had another discussion about because we translated some ancient language into English, which had a rhyming schedule, or how do you say?
Scheme.
Rhyming scheme, which is pretty. So did it have that in the other language? That's the question.
Do you want the real honest answer? Because I already gave that to you. No?
Yeah.
Myself?
You should keep it to yourself.
It's a DM thing again. It's yeah.
Yeah. But I once had this in, well, we discussed this as well, but I had the same thing in my campaign. I have designed my own language, which is Arthurian, and it's very complicated, but then I wrote this text down in English, and it was all in a rhyme scheme. And then when you translate it to that other language, you just can't get to that point. You can't make the language do the things you do in English.
No.
So it's always a funny thing. Why was it in? But it's
why did it rhyme? Yeah.
Why did it rhyme? Yeah, and it goes for a lot of things in fantasy, movies, books, and everything.
But that's just something you have to let go of. That when
you have
do
to
stuff like this. That's. I mean, we always try to approach some level of realism in a fantasy world, but at some point you just have to go with it and accept that's all fantasy. And
but Roger, you said the moon was at its peak last time, but now you're saying that it's just a sickle.
Yeah.
How can this be? Did you do it wrong?
I could have been wrong. I don't know. I still haven't watched the episode.
It doesn't matter.
I know. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, but
I think I was right during the episode that you had looked at the normal moon and not at the moon.
Yeah, that's true. No. So you might have been right, but it's those things that really don't matter when you think about it, or how long the distance between two villages is exactly, for example. I
actually wrote that down for this journey you're taking.
Oh yeah, that's cool. But
I have it in kilometers and in miles, if you want.
Yeah. I always remember the Star Trek thing where they say that how fast is the Enterprise, and they're just saying it's just fast enough when they need to get there in time, and just slow enough when they should be too late. And that's a beautiful thing. It's a little bit more complicated with Dungeons and Dragons because you can calculate and everything. But
so you calculate how long it would take on foot to get there, and suddenly you guys have horses.
Yeah, for example. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice topic. Let's go into the main topic.
Yes.
Now I'm wondering what I should do first, because I can approach this in two different ways, and I think we are just going to show the first random video that Michel sent in, because it depicts what might have been what is well. Let's just go into the clip and
wait. I'll have to turn on the stream then, because
yeah. Are you ready, Roger? Are you ready, chat?
Go.
Okay, here we go. So the other show is Talking Void. It airs the Tuesday after parallel projections at 9 o'clock instead of 8:30. And we'll be discussing this episode, and we'll be discussing our next topic. And our next topic is, what was the best boss you have ever encountered? And with a sub-question, of course, because I'm a philosopher by heart, by nature, by teaching, by everything, and why? Because we always want to know the end why.
And this is an in real life thing, right? What's the best boss you ever met, or how?
Yeah, that's the best. Yeah, so he was my manager 10 years ago, and he was so great.
It taught me everything.
It could be Cthulhu as well. So whatever. Yeah. So. I'm already laughing out loud. Oh man, I'm using the things we say in chat. So you want to see the first answer?
Exactly?
No, you want to see the first answer?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
What was?
Dear. Oh God.
Can you see it on Twitch again? The first answer is DOD 200, best boss ever. So I had to look this up, because I thought, what is OD 200? And it's a distortion pedal for a guitar.
Yeah,
from the Boss label.
From Boss. Yeah. It makes sense. Well, you did write Boss with a capital letter, so with capital B.
Yeah.
So it was either a brand or a name.
Yeah. Please sponsor us.
Michel says, please sponsor us, boss. That would be awesome. Yeah.
So I love this answer, and this one came from Facebook, and I wrote to the guy, man, I'm going to include this in our show because it's too good, Thanks for the subscription. Thank you,
Naruhiko.
Yeah,
Naruhiko. Also known as Jeff.
Thanks, much.
Man.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, really appreciate it.
Yeah. Well, I think we have to include more of these pranks because if we get subscription from this, then we'll do a show full of these things. No, just kidding, because otherwise it wouldn't be fun. You have to intersperse some real knowledge between those weird things. So this was the first answer. Then we got to the next one, which is Andrew says, Mrs. name excluded, best boss ever, great leader, motivated, and wrong type of boss. Adrian says, my mom, smiling. Ellen says, when I worked this outlet clothing store, the manager was just an all-around good guy. I really respected him. Yeah, next level shit, so to say, right?
Yeah, that's the wrong answer. So, I didn't know we could have wrong answer.
What do you think about these encounters, Roger?
Yeah, I mean,
can you tell me
are always
how
scary,
how would you handle the mechanics in these cases?
Yeah, I would write an application, see if it can work there as well.
So, do you think a mom is like a first level commoner with 4 hit points? Or is she secretly a Marliv demon or something?
I mean, no. Moms are scary, man. They're not level 1. That's
So Marliv demons then?
Yeah.
6 arms and a snake tail.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. But if that's the spectrum, maybe somewhere in between.
Maybe somewhere in between.
From commoner to Marliv demon.
You want your mother to be a succubus.
In between. That's still a demon.
Oh, okay, not a demon. Okay, then, oh man. Do your homework, avoid detention, and don't swear.
Yeah, and you listen. So that's like a charm. Or a command.
Well, do they? I think it was different in all the times, I think, because my children...
Yeah, they don't listen to you, but they...
Yeah, well...
to them on it.
We see that they have manners when they are at others.
Yeah, okay. But let's not get into child rearing.
Okay. The other funny thing is that these 3 answers were all given by someone whose name began with an A. Okay.
Suspicious. Kind of sus.
So the next thing is, Call of Bob, who is from the Dutch 20, said, "My own party members, I swear all they want to do is get ourselves killed."
Yeah, they are their own worst enemy.
Yeah. There's some truth in this, right?
Yeah. That's just it. They're their own worst enemy. They make their own mistakes, and they tend to blame us for it. But
yeah, that's the funny thing.
It comes down to them.
They always say, "Do you know the player who tells you I'm keeping it a secret from you because otherwise you know what I'm going to do?" And then that totally backfires.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. Like suddenly there's
only
different
5
going on
points left. Oh yeah.
I'm not a healer. No, yeah. Yeah, no, the players can actually be their own worst enemy. And sometimes they can make it so hard on themselves while it's so simple. And it can be actually frustrating as for DM as well.
Yeah, true. Because problems.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there's this thing about players who don't tread on the trodden path, but go totally in the opposite direction, and you can have a lot of fun with those in those moments. But when the wrong conclusions are
assumptions, when they make assumptions. When assumptions are their worst enemy.
Those are the worst enemy. And of course, those characters who, when they are being dominated, really turn against their party. And,
I remember someone who killed their entire party.
Was it?
Yeah, I think it was me. That Stromheld campaign you had. We were fighting these elephants, and it was kind of an easy encounter, and they were trying to dominate me, and I had the highest willpower saving throw in the party, and I rolled a 1.
Yeah.
And I was a scion and a pretty powerful caster, and they commanded me to kill them all, and so I did. I killed the entire party.
Job.
All on my own. I killed like 8 party members.
Yeah.
No problem. In a couple of rounds, it was easy. Yeah. But then I was the only one left, and I got permanently dominated, so I lost my character as well.
That was so cool. No, it wasn't. Anyway, Mireneus, who is in chat. Yeah, Mireneus, who is in chat, recently tried my new sheet out. I also have a Google Sheets sheet for Dungeons and Dragons. And he made a Scion, because, spoilers, I've made that class in 5th edition now. The way I wanted to be played, because I really dislike the soul knife and every one of those archetypes. And he named his character, like, I think it was Dekkar or so. Dekkar, the other party slayer. And I like that one.
Okay, as a
party
car, and it was it was an homage to me.
An homage. Let's call it an homage, of course.
Naruhiko asked if I had any regrets on killing them, and the answer is no. I really enjoyed myself that afternoon, and it just showed how good my build was and how powerful my character was. And it was kind of sad that I lost my character, but I didn't regret killing all the others because they were not nice people.
Yeah, it was a strange party.
Yeah,
party of 14, so 14 to 20. We've discussed this in the last episode as well with Jin, and it was so much fun. So, coming in and out of the session, so the table changed during a day.
Yeah, true. Because I didn't kill Michel because he wasn't there anymore. He had to go, and he said, I just mentioned Aura, and he was out of there. And after that, I got dominated, and he was the only one that survived.
Yeah. You lost the character.
By not being there, yeah.
So, these are the funny answers, and now we're going to get into the serious ones.
Oh, it's serious. Okay, I put on my serious face.
Oh, you didn't have that on already?
No. This was my fun face.
I'm a stupid for your serious face.
This is my happy face, and this is my serious face.
So you're kind of in between, Ron Swanson and
Captain Holt. Yeah, thanks.
Captain Holt. Yeah. Okay.
Well,
now you have
I'll
to
take that as a compliment.
Not a real doctor. Anyway, let's go to the next question. So there are two answers on this one, but actually it's only one. But it's a two-parter. It's a player perspective and it's a dungeon master perspective from Dutch 20. And Tom says to answer the question, the professor, a boss fight where the boss didn't have so much HP. That should be HP. Sorry. But after he died, in the next round, he would take on the form of the party member that did the killing blow, with full health and all. I ran away with 6 hit points left at level 8 or 9. And Hyperion, who apparently was the dungeon master, said, the story was that there was a mad professor and this professor was one of his experiments. One of the players was 1-2. The real professor had some dirty tricks as well. ...
Oh, cool. Yeah, the first one is actually the throwback to that previous answer. Like, the own party is the worst, best boss encounter. Yeah. It's a cool mechanic. A boss changing into party members when you kill them. So it's a good test to see who's the most annoying party member to kill.
True. Yeah.
But you don't face them all at once. Because we did it with your campaign once, that we had this mirror images, the shades of us, and we had to kill them, and they were almost exactly like us, with some differences, I think. But this is different, because you do them in a row. Still cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very cool.
I'm wondering if they had to defeat them all, because he said he ran away when he had only 6 hit points left, so maybe they just had to flee at that point. I don't know about that, but then you have the Dungeon Master perspective for who this was kind of a test encounter for the real deal, maybe?
No,
you read into that?
No, I read into that it wasn't even the real professor, and that there was an infiltrate on the party.
As well, yeah.
Yeah, so he's just experimenting with cloning stuff or something like that, and
how original.
Just an introduction to the boss, which is actually how you should do boss fight.
Yeah, okay, tell me something about that.
Well, if you want players to see it as a boss, you have to give them some warning about who or what it is before it starts. And of course, you can just put a huge dragon at the end of a dungeon and it will feel like a boss encounter. But if there's an antagonist constantly interacting with the party in some way, but not fighting them, or maybe fighting them and then fleeing and then fighting them again with other powers or something, then you have this build-up. And that's more of how you create a villain than how you create a boss, though. But main villains are bosses, of course. So. And with something like this, you plant the seed, and so because this first professor looked exactly the same as the actual professor, probably, if I understand this correctly. So once they encountered him again, they had these feelings like, oh, I'm not going to say the next word, but there's this build-up, and that makes for a more exciting encounter, I think, at least. Because it has this... it's more than just combat mechanics or how powerful the boss is. It has this emotional baggage as well. And that makes it more interesting and more memorable as a boss fight.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. I recently... had not prepared a certain part of my adventure, not the adventure that you're in, but the other one. And I thought, what do we have to do? And I took this legendary dragon and 2 Marilith demons. I rebuilt them into some different kind of image, and I threw them at the party, which you could say for a 13th level party, well, they were with 7 players, so that's something. It's a hard random encounter, right?
Yeah. But is it the boss?
No, it's not
the boss because it has legendary actions,
no,
or
and that's what I was getting at. Because no, it was a random encounter. It was a possible boss if I would have fleshed out the whole history, and then they would have met him in the ethereal plane where they were at the point. But no, it wasn't. It was just a random encounter. It was a nameless brute, Dracolich, which is in the Dungeon Master Guide, of in the Monster Manual, by the way, and 2 Mari-Liv reskinned as ghosts. But what it was a cool encounter. It had nothing to do with a boss or a build-up or anything. Even more so, what might have been the build-up in that scene is that in the background they saw this really large structure, and they felt the dread coming from that structure. And when they approached it finally, these vines came alive and formed a very big face in the air, and they said, "Welcome," or something. And then we started to...
that's foreshadowing, and that's
foreshadowing. Yeah. And then, of course, that was the cliffhanger of the session as well. So it has something to do with foreshadowing then. With a build-up, with So So what we are trying to...
It's not necessary, but it helps a lot with giving meaning to the fight.
Yeah. So when it comes to that, what we are trying to do here in this show, and now we have 2 dungeon masters behind the cameras, and sometimes we have players here as well. I'm always a dungeon master, but I'm also, well, you understand what I am saying, and we always try to get to a certain point where we can say it's not this, but it might be that, because otherwise we're just discussing what people are sending us, which is great, but there must be a deeper meaning to this to all of this, and I think, maybe we are starting to get there, right?
Yeah.
So, because Michel is always quite active, and you have seen that he can talk quite a lot. He can even talk when Bowman is saying stuff. He sent in a short video so that I could put it on my show. And, well, I'm eager to, how do you say? Give him his
opportunity,
stage to present the opportunity. Yeah, that's called the opportunity. So here we are going into Michel's one of his best boss moments, which is one of Roger's man, I'm stumbling across my words.
Push the button, man. Come on.
Hey guys, great show so far, I'm assuming. But I just wanted to chime in with my favorite boss fight, or my favorite boss encounter, which was Paraziel, a minor demon of chaos. And while this was actually a minor boss, thinking about this question made me realize that although with the big bad boss fights that you usually end your campaigns with, I could name all the characters, the bosses, their lore, the reasons why we fought them. I mostly remember the story beats of those combats, encounters, and not really the mechanics behind it. And for this particular fight, Paraziel, a minor demon of chaos, I actually remember a lot of the mechanics and how much fun we had with that as a group. So this was a fight 10 years ago, and it being a demon of chaos meant that a lot of chaotic things happened during that fight, and it was great. And that encounter was designed by our very own Roger, and since he is right now in the show, I was thinking that I'd throw it to him and he could tell a bit about this fight, the mechanics that he used and what he remembers of it. So, good luck, guys.
So,
Yeah. Back again.
he wants me to remember, okay?
Back again.
Yeah,
Oh, man.
he wants me
Yeah.
to remember. Okay? First of all, it wasn't actually a boss. It was just something on the way to the boss, which kind of surprised me. But I know that this was an all-time favorite encounter in my campaign. How it worked was we had this square room where he lured them into his realm, and it was a square room with these rainbow-colored walls. And each turn, those walls would come closer and coloser, and the room would shrink. And then he had this other mechanic where he cut the room in half with another beam of this rainbow-colored material. And as soon as you came into contact with that, strange stuff happened. The strange stuff that happened was actually a second edition Wild Search, and that had the most weird results. There was this huge list of more than 100 different things that could happen, and I remember people's heads growing twice as large, people rapidly aging, someone holding a bouquet of flowers instead of a weapon, someone being assaulted by a swarm of butterflies, people growing their hair like 3 feet out, and that's all stuff like that. Meanwhile, there were these minor demons around him. He was actually a demon prince, not a minor demon. And he had these 2 daggers that he could use to backstab. But they also triggered the Wild Search event. So there was a ton of weird stuff constantly happening during the battle. And we had just had a laugh with it, and it was so much fun. And that made that encounter really memorable, because there was, for this boss, mini boss, there was actually no foreshadowing at all. It was I wouldn't call it a random encounter because it was planned and it was on the way to the actual boss. But when people think back of that section of the adventure, then they don't remember that last boss fight, but they do remember this fight, and that was that made it really special. So I'm kind of glad that he mentioned this as well. So you don't have to do any foreshadowing to make something memorable. That sometimes weird stuff happens, and that makes it memorable.
Yeah, true. And I think that what triggers me in what you are saying is that who was the boss then at that point? Because I know I wasn't there at that moment. I had...
it was actually Minus of Morsefall, together with 2 other demons, demon princes. Because there was there was the Golden City, and you were trying to take it back from the demon lords, and there were 4 demon princes present at the Golden City at the moment, and Paraziel was actually the first they encountered, and then they had to fight the last 3 all together, which was way harder and should have been way more epic, but it wasn't, because this was just too much fun.
So fun, another aspect. And well, because you're mentioning Minus, and I wanted to tell something about my favorite boss encounter, which wasn't really an encounter, and I missed the final fight against him as well. Actually, I missed the 2 final fights against him.
Yeah, you fought him like 5 times or something, but the last 2 times when you actually defeated him instead of running away, you missed it.
Yeah, so there was this guy, Minus of Morsefall, right? And he was this towering hulk of a man, pale-skinned, bald, wielding a greatsword, I think. And I think he was the first thing we encountered in the campaign, because I was in these woods and there was an attack and he came on the scene. Did you use the music right then? Or was that?
I can't remember. That's like 20 years ago.
That's 20 years ago. So well, he got his own soundtrack, which was Minus Human from the Symphony and Metallica album from Metallica, which is not my favorite song of them by them, but. When it became attached to this Minds of Morseful, it was so epic because Roger would first play the music and then we knew he was coming and then he would start describing his entrance. And I always thought that he would be my kind of main antagonist through the campaign. And in a way, Nemesis. And in a way, he had some points he was, but in the end I shifted my scope a bit, and because I was away for those final battles that might have altered my perception as well, but I wasn't away for the final battle, but the final battles with Minos I was. But I have fond memories of that bastard, so to say.
Yeah, me too. But mostly, like you said, that I used music to introduce him every time, and your reactions like this. Oh crap! We have to get out of here, and
there we go.
And that was even before he made an entrance, because it's also a form of foreshadowing.
So there a lot of things have been said in chat. Let's because I'm not used to chat going this quickly right now, and I want to reply.
It's too much for you. Okay,
it's too much.
I can help. I'm here for you. If you want.
Mireneo says, last night I heard some foreshadowing during a campaign of Roger's. Awesome how that works. Yeah, some evil master plan, and then you already say exactly. And Michel, of course, says haha. And Mireneo says the handkerchief is shrinking, so that's a reference to me.
Which I still don't get, but sure.
You don't get it?
No, I don't know. I don't want to talk about that.
Let's keep the Dungeon Master in the dark. Best fight ever. That sounds awesome. Thanks for that one, Relver. Running away is advancing in a different direction, which is, of course, true.
It's true. That's true.
Because you're leaving also those children behind, because you know that if they get slaughtered, then at least you can kill the enemy on another day.
Let's fight another day.
Yeah.
Or another minute or hour.
And then correct. Yeah, he is correct. It's always good to run away, especially when a whole village is in dire need.
Well, it's actually interesting because I do make encounters that are just too hard, and the whole point of the encounter is just to run away. Yeah. And it's sometimes players don't get that in time, that they should run away, and bad stuff happens. Yeah.
So I do those too, but for some reason my players always seem to skip past them.
Yeah.
Accidentally.
Or they encounter them and then fight them and then complain to you that the encounter was way too hard. And
yeah, that happens as well. But then mostly I've just planned a very hard encounter.
Yeah, okay, true.
But the really hard ones...
in your book, that's just an encounter though, right?
Yeah, indeed. So... this is an interesting thing, maybe because you went to the we talked about this as well, the swamp of nightmares and wonders, and there was Tanagash's mansion, and there were all kinds of horrors in there. But one of the biggest horrors was actually a very big egg that lay there, which you could have hatched if you wanted to. Did I tell you about this?
We didn't even want to go into... I mean, the swamp was called the Swamp of Nightmares and Wonders. We didn't see a single wonder in the whole swamp. Only nightmares and horrors.
Yeah, it's your perspective, I think.
Yeah.
But there was this big egg that was in there, and all that had to be done was pull a lever, and Tarosky would have come out.
Oh yeah, you mentioned that. Yeah, that would have been fun.
Yeah, well, it would have certainly directed the adventure in a whole new direction, but and you might have lived or not. I don't know. But those are
I don't think so.
Fun things.
Not at that level.
That was something that had to be that was a counter that should not have been.
We did see that egg, though. We went into the room where it was, and we just
you
ignored
could see it from above. Down below.
Oh, like the shaft. Yeah,
in the shaft. And luckily, you did nothing with that egg.
No, we screwed up in millions different
other
ways.
Yeah. And that's why you keep skipping bosses in my campaigns. There are all these bosses, but then you do something stupid, and then you,
Or we talk to them and.
Yeah, or you talk to them and they say, okay, because you make a valid point. Yeah. Anyway, let's go to the questions again. So this was a great one. Then this one is cool as well. Camden says, we played an evil one-shot once where we were stealing an artifact from a dragon cult. Then a couple of weeks later, we encountered some cultists in the main campaign and we ended up fighting them. Turned out they were the same characters we made in the one-shot. That was pretty cool, but one of them, a wizard named Magic Man, escaped the encounter and has now been harassing our group ever since. He is now the mastermind behind every major struggle we encounter, and we have fought him a few times, but have always had to run. Not able to beat him yet.
Wow, that must be frustrating that your worst enemy is called Magic Man.
Well, it's funny that you say this, but because I was thinking the same thing, and then I thought, well, you have to just dress it up like Magic Man.
Yeah, Magic Man. Like Candyman. Yeah. Just say it in your Bowen voice, and then.
Yeah, you're waking up deep in the night. You feel there's a monster under your bed, and then this kind of Tommy knocker thing starts. This time or this night or the night before, Tommy knockers knocking on my door. You know, like a real Stephen King kind of vibe. And then it's Magic Man, and he could pull it off. I'm sure he could pull it off. So
I'm sure Bowen could as well. But yeah,
it could be a scary encounter for kids.
But it's kind of cool that when you let players design the encounter, you actually get more depth into them, because first of all, it's made by different people, and secondly, they're just fleshed out, because believe it or not, DM monsters are generally kind of simple compared to player characters. But if you have a party, like an actual humanoids with class levels, then becomes way more interesting and way more difficult even to defeat them. I've done this a couple of times as well. Just make a bunch of characters and just throw them at the party. Just make them the same level, and you automatically have a balanced encounter. And the PCs just hopefully win, because
they can keep track of one character instead of the whole group.
Exactly. It's 6 against 1. And
6 minds better than 1.
Yeah.
Most of the times.
Yeah. Not always, but yeah.
So I like the idea of this mechanic, and what I also love, and which is what I'm saying about these answers every time, is that when you read this answer, then you feel the passion that's behind it. You know, the real
and you can imagine
the situation. Yeah,
that moment when it is revealed and the players have something like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah.
And,
exactly that moment.
It's not a plot twist, but it's. Oh, you have been clipped. Nice.
Magic Man.
But yeah, you can. Yeah, I think if you're at the table and something like that happens, that's really cool. Just the experience to see your own character back and realize what you did actually when you played that character at the time. That it's a kind of plot twist, but that was a different topic.
It's a kind of plot twist.
No, stop singing.
Stop singing. Okay. So let's go. Talking about passion, let's go into the next two. Mark says, for fighting myself, giant mech battle in a cave. Experience in general, final boss of my homebrew campaign. I put in a lot of work and the party played beautifully. 5 versus several demons, a half pit fiend, ancient silver dragon, and an ice queen. Let's first talk about that one.
Wait, that's one encounter?
The last one, yeah, I think so, yeah.
Wow, okay.
I don't know which level the party was, but it gets... several demons, okay. A half-health pit fiend, half-health, okay, in combination with the demons. Which is funny, by the way, because demons and pit fiends seem to hate each other. Maybe it might have been devils, but I don't know. And then an ancient silver dragon.
A 1v1v1.
Yeah, which is like the opposite of both of those. And then there's the Ice Queen, which... yeah, cool. I don't know how strong an Ice Queen is. I have no idea.
Sounds powerful. I mean,
sounds powerful. Yeah.
It's a queen.
Out of ice.
Yeah.
Eyes. Oh, that's cool. Eyes. An ice queen. That's something more for you in our current campaign.
Oh, you spoiled it.
The ice queen just wanted to let it go. Yeah. True. Let it go. Let it go.
No, stop singing. It's last time. It's your last warning. God damn it.
Why though?
I don't know. It's cringy, man. Come on. It causes these awkward silences.
What awkward silences?
Yeah, I block it out, so it becomes white noise.
It causes. Yeah. So this is an encounter, to get serious once again, where there's just a lot of enemies, probably all in context, of course. But, let's not laugh about this encounter because I think it's a great encounter because multiple epic creatures in one fight. I always think that it's strange that the Pit Fiend doesn't have legendary actions, when it comes to the Archdukes of Hell have them and the Demon Princes have them. But Pit Fiend is, I don't know. Maybe it should be a kind of Matthew Colville boss monster or something. But you can make that out of it, of course. But
you can do with it what you want, right? I mean,
of course you can. But I know encountering a Pit Fiend is so much more than.
In an encounter like this, you shouldn't give him legendary actions, though. I mean,
because the Ice Queen and the Silver Dragon already have them.
No, yeah, but in an encounter like this, you shouldn't do legendary actions at all because it's DM's turn for 75% of the time. Then yeah. I don't know if he did, but it might have been a 3rd edition thingy. But legendary actions are there to fill up the gap, so it's not just monster the entire party, monster the entire party. This way you have some back and forth between the monster and the party. And so in a fight like this, I would just not use the legendary actions, even if they had them. Coincidentally, yesterday I had an encounter where I put them against 2 things that had legendary actions, but I skipped over them because it would have been too much. Because they each had 3 legendary actions, and or 2 of those creatures. So that would mean that I had 6 turns against a party of 6, and that would mean that 50% of the turn of the round would be my turn. And I like a bit of balance there.
I already told you this, but I recently did a battle with 3 legendary creatures.
Yeah.
And they died. Anyway. No, one of them died. Only one. It was their own stupid mistake. No, not really, but
also, speaking of that same campaign, the cliffhanger, looking at the first line here, a giant mech battle in a cave. That's kind of what's going to happen next time. It's not a cave, but it's a giant mech versus a party.
Cool. Yeah.
So that's awesome. I love that. I wish he said more about this, but yeah.
Gordon says the best boss I have ever faced was when the Dungeon Master made one to spite my creation. I had somehow built a team move with my party that allowed me to become extremely fast, so the DM made a speedster monster to fight me mainly and still fend off the party for a while.
Interesting.
Yeah, I like it. Because I know that this player felt really appreciated by the dungeon master, that the effort went into countering his character specifically.
Yeah, and that means that the dungeon master did a really good job there, because specifically countering one player in the party or adjusting for something that one player is really good in is usually not that fun for that player. And if this guy says this was the best boss encounter I ever had, which was made to counter him, that all the more respect for the DM, because sounds like
it reminds me of kind of like arrow shows, where you have the crossovers and everybody is fighting the hero that matches his abilities.
Yeah,
and it always feels a bit awkward because if you think about the Superman just blasting all the weaker ones, then the fight suddenly has become a lot easier. But when you do it in a way that you're really confronted by this epic enemy that you have to take care of yourself for the party, then it's a different scenario, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, and this just sounds, and a speedster sounds like fun as well. I did a couple of myself, and I always enjoyed playing them. Yeah. They were usually part of a council type fight.
See you, Jetty Jet. Thanks for watching again. Sorry, he has to go, to interrupt you.
Yeah. Anyway, it sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah. And then we get to the next one. We have 2 slides left, and the second one is far shorter. And these I will do in one go. Sarah says, my sister homebrewed a Krampus, full on soundscape, voice changer app, lightning, characters getting stuffed into to his sack. Not a euphemism. It was amazing. And Taylor says, I'd say it was the boss from the game I was in during high school. The campaign was an undead war, and they were led by a necromancer named Asha Amon. We never actually got to fight him, but we encountered him once or twice, and his presence was always felt regardless of if he was there or not. He's still out there to this day. I'd like to go back and finally fight him somehow. Nostalgia. I'm getting a big sense of nostalgia here.
Well, yeah, with the first one, it sounds like the DM went all out, and I don't know what a Krampus is, but
it's kind of an evil Santa Claus.
Okay. Oh yeah, okay, makes sense then.
Yeah, with the sack.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, but the voice changer app, the lighting in the room, it's like you said with Minus and the music I used. This was like 2 tiers more than that. It was yeah. I've never done this much effort for a boss. That's awesome. No.
Yeah.
And with the second one, it's the foreshadowing again, like the constant the villain that has been eluding them and or too powerful to fight him at some point, and
yeah. So
cool.
Pretty straightforward. I think we've discussed what this means. But they were great examples of people in wonder of what their dungeon master did for them, and they still feel about those encounters. Months, maybe years, maybe decades later. I don't know. And then there's this one, and it says it's by Dietrich, and I really love this comment because I agree to a very high degree with this one. And he says, I've never had a good final boss. I've had good campaigns, but the finale just didn't hold up.
That's harsh, because that's what you want.
Though? No, I was asking that because we had a discussion before we went in here, and you were talking about, what's the best boss in your campaign, and you wanted to tell something about that here on the show, and you can, of course. But then I started to think that what kind of DM am I, and most people you encounter in my campaigns, although I do boss things like in Stormhold, but you can't really dub them a boss because they are kind of extreme encounters with a party of 14 and there are all these mechanics and everything. Yeah, in a way. So there's the what this touches upon is that a boss is for well, there's the boss that we just discussed, which is cool and great, and I think you are doing a great job at this because you can really plan that ahead, and then you come to the boss and you have this epic fight, and it always feels good. And then I thought I'm always very nervous when those kind of things happen in my campaign, and I'm more of, the people you meet along the road, and these are other people, and then you have an encounter with them, but they aren't exactly bosses or anything, and then you go in your own way. And of course, I have had a couple of bosses, but I think, and the other thing is, I'm quite nervous about doing my final bosses for an adventure, because I have no idea how that has to feel for my players, and I'm pretty anxious about that part.
Sorry. Well, let's make a comparison here. When I do a boss fight, it's usually like the final boss of a computer game, like this epic, mechanically heavy, difficult encounter where the players feel good about defeating him, and then they get their story resolve. But yeah, I can't go too deep into it, but your adventure is more like Planescape Torment in that way. It's way more about the journey than the end. Yeah. And so what you said, the people you meet along the way, and even if the boss encounter, we had this recently. We had this huge build-up that one of our former party members turned evil, and he was destroying the city, and we had to do something about it. And we went there, and I'm really quite sure that you had this elaborate encounter planned with him, but we just started talking with him, and that conversation was awesome. Like, there was so much emotion there, and no one drew a weapon during the whole time we were there, and we actually convinced the guy to just go.
Let it go. Yeah.
Just let it go. And that was really awesome as well. And I mean, that's the kind of campaign we play there. We had, before we went to this guy, we had literally a 15-hour long discussion about how we wanted to do that and what we should say to this guy, because he used to be one of us, and now suddenly he turned evil, or not necessarily evil, but nihilistic, and wanted to destroy everything, because what's the point? And it didn't feel like not getting the word here, but it was not a letdown. It was awesome in its own way, and a boss doesn't necessarily have to be something you throw your dice at and hope that it dies.
Yeah. So that's I think that's well. Thank you, first of all, for putting it that way, because that relaxes me a bit in a way. You know how I get. I always get adrenaline pumped and anxious and uncertain of myself when I DM. It has been a lot less so the last couple of years, but I still have those periods where I feel really anxious about being a dungeon master, and I've been doing it since I was 11. So really strange. And I knew when we were playing it that was the right answer to the conclusion of that story arc.
Yeah.
To that story arc, and still it was so strange to skipped the boss in a way, but we didn't skip it. You defeated him with words and
but you didn't use all the mechanics, the stats and stuff you probably prepared for that moment, and you just threw it in bin.
Yeah, really did. Yeah. So, and I think that maybe there is something to be said about because you do things during a journey as well, and you develop your characters that are in your campaign and give them backgrounds and epic moments of role playing and everything. So there's no discussion about that. But I really liked the journey part, and I'm kind of the dungeon master who lets my players go through shit, and then in the end, they hopefully get to a level where they feel quite good about themselves again.
We're not there yet.
We're not there yet, and that's how I like my campaigns as a DM. And well, you keep sitting around my table, so I must be doing something right at certain levels. Well, and I think we discussed this in our first talking void together. That you're like the epic one, and. I think that matches with the boss idea as well. Destroying evil or destroying
mentioned that as well in his video that he said he could talk about all those final bosses you encountered, including the ones that ended the actual campaign. But what he remembered was their story and not the encounter necessarily.
True.
Of course, he'll probably remember the encounter, but more from a character perspective, what happened to him and what he did, instead of what the boss actually did mechanically or. Shit, I'm back again. A memoir of a character who survived not one but two of Jasper's campaigns.
Nice one.
Yeah, not everyone survives though.
Yeah. I think that's a great conclusion to the topic, and it's the same as always, of course, because there's a certain theme is that there are many ways that you can play Dungeons and Dragons.
There's not a single correct way, and just
boss isn't necessary, but it's pretty cool. And but I liked that on the Facebook they really said Dungeons and Dragons isn't about bosses, and I think that's wrong. But I think that when you see this. Why I thought this was a perfect answer, not because he's saying that he has never met a good final boss, but that the journey he did up towards that point was epic as hell by default.
Yeah.
And that made it for him. And because I don't.
As long as he doesn't feel bad about it, it's okay.
No, I think because I talked to him a bit on chat on Facebook, and he said it was always for him. It was always about the journey, and the journey was epic. And I don't think the boss was a letdown in the way that it let down the campaign, but it couldn't live up to the adventure before and the conclusion. Yeah. And I like that answer a lot. I don't know if he's in chat, but. That he might come. I don't know all names from the people.
Yeah, but they can have a different name on Twitch, of course.
Yeah, that's what So that concludes our main topic. We have some questions left from our viewers. We know the ones who are sending us the messages. So you want to go into those to end the episode?
Sure. I'm here now, so...
Yeah? Oh.
Yeah.
You didn't leave this time?
No, not yet.
Throwback.
Yeah.
So now we're getting... were we serious? Chat, were we serious about this topic? I want to know, because I feel that we had quite a serious conversation and that... We're too serious.
Gonna wait now until chat's finished typing.
Yeah, I think
we probably were. Let's just.
Okay. Well, was it still fun?
I hope we did the topic justice. That's
yeah. It started out light and funny and ended on a serious note. Yeah, that's how I like it. But very good. Oh, thank you, Michelle. Loved it. Well, Michelle's typing for all of them, I think. So.
Yeah, but he's biased, so not. Yeah, I don't know.
That's true as well. Okay. Let's go into the questions.
He's biased. He says it himself.
Question 1 by Esner N. As chat is getting more lively, we are actively discussing the gameplay, plot twists, and possible solutions to the puzzles, while virtually standing within audible distance around your table. How do you feel about that? Are the players supposed to figure it all out by themselves, or is it the more the merrier?
Ooh, that's a difficult one. Because
it is.
Yeah, because I noticed that chat was actually joining in when I read the puzzle, that they were actually thinking along with the party. And that's okay, I think. I mean, if you get the answer from chat, then you get the answer from chat. It's not a sports competition or a poker game where you're reading someone else's cards or anything like that. It's just it gives some degree of participation. And we actually have been thinking about how we can let chat participate, because during a D&D campaign, I'm having troubles reading chat or let alone respond to chat during the campaign, and we're not gonna read out loud what people are saying and like we're doing now, because there's it will break the game. And but in the future, I might just ask chat for a name. Like, you encounter this random barkeep and he needs a name, and I ask chat, what's his name? And then I hope that Marineus doesn't answer and I get a serious, nice name. But something like that. But thinking along with the party, it's fine. That just means that people are actually participating and becoming emotionally involved in what's happening on screen, which I enjoy, because I take that as a huge compliment, actually.
Yeah. I have the same feeling, and I also feel that when we are doing the Precipice, we are more reacting to some things that are being said. I try to do this, Michel, get some answers in, and as does Erik. You are more concentrated on the ones who are playing at that moment. And I love those small interactions that we can do there. And that's also why I love this show, where we can really talk to chat and just have a blast. And the funny thing is that Parallel Projections is somewhere in the middle of that. We have a community chat as well, but we also have this. And it's so fun to have this interaction, and I applaud it as well. It's a whole different dimension. So that was the first question. Then we go to the second question.
Thanks again.
Did that answer the question for you? That's the other thing, but we'll come back to that. Mireneas says, about the Precipice, what the hell? Is there a question in there? Well, there's a question mark at the end of the sentence.
Yeah, and it starts with what? So that usually indicates that the question mark's following.
It was the answer I was hoping for.
Oh, nice. What the hell? I don't know. Stuff's happening.
But
and it's not all me, though. Or do you mean the actual Precipice? Or is this just the shorthand for the name of the adventure?
It's the shorthand. I added that in this way.
Did anyone even notice that the actual Precipice was mentioned once before? No, you didn't, right? Watch previous episodes. But what the hell? Yeah,
funny thing.
Stuff's happening. It's. I think that this part of the adventure, it's kind of great, because it's actually. If you haven't watched any of our other episodes, this would be a great spot, the last two episodes, to just start watching our show without watching the previous stuff, because it's really detached, because you traveled into another world, and stuff is happening here now, and what happened in the other world is kind of put on in the background, and you're just dealing with the situation, and you're in this weird place, and it's fun, and it's something different, and I hope I get the opportunity to do more like that, like different stuff, like change the themes of what's going on.
But to answer Mireneas' question in another way, yes.
Oh yeah, that's a good answer. Yes.
Yeah, that's a good answer.
It's positive. It's straight to the point. I like it.
And because Jasper is kind of feeling a what the hell vibe as well at certain points, and I'm loving it. So I have no idea where this is going. It's a new world. I have no idea what the rules are, and all these big reveals, from my perspective, are happening in quite quick succession in a way. I mean, Audrey fell out of the sky. We're in another world. There are pixies. There are monsters made out of ice and everything. And Audrey's ordeal.
Ice. Yeah. Okay.
Ice.
Did I have an ice encounter? When was this?
Anyway,
it's the accent.
Yes, it's the accent. No, let's not go there. Anyway,
finish your sentence. Or don't. I don't care.
Near, far, wherever you are. Anyway, so it's a what the hell. I think that's
why? What is the what the hell then? What is the?
Because I'm a player and I don't know what's happening, and that's so fun. And maybe I don't know what I was expecting when I was going to have this adventure that you were going to be the DM of. And I don't know what this journey could have been anyway, but every episode is great. And I know I talked about, I think it was episode 10, which had a bit of a lull in it. But that was great as well, because that was a session where we finally could, in a way, start coping with some of the things that had happened to us. And it was kind of a whole different kind of... and now it starts topping the previous episode again and again. And I
have to stop doing that. It's getting hard to top it.
Yeah, well, you always tell me, Jasper, not every episode, not every session can be the best session. That's true. No. Yeah. As a bystander, we experience the same reveals, where everyone is equally surprised by the development of the story. And Misha says, I have no idea what direction we are going and what's going to happen. What the hell is going on? And I love it. Yeah, and that's the other thing. Brentwick. What the hell?
Yeah, I don't know anymore, man. I don't care about Brentwick anymore. It's...
because I had this distinct
when
idea.
I started this adventure, I had a whole different idea of what was gonna happen here and how the adventure would evolve. I thought we would do like 3 encounters and you would arrive in Brentwick and then it would really start. But even some of the ideas I had for stuff in Brentwick, I'm not sure I'm ever gonna do that. That might be something completely different. So. The same way that some of the characters have said before, like I had this grand plan for my character, but then we started playing and things started to shift around. Now, the exact same thing can happen, or mostly will happen, if you plan an adventure as a DM.
Yeah,
like no plan survives contact with the enemy, and no adventure survives contact with the player.
Yeah, true, and we love this. I had this experience when I was in chat with someone a short time ago, where the dungeon master said that he had given the players too much of a free rein, and he was afraid they were going to walk out of the map. Which was a whole different, new kind of experience for me. I had never thought of it that way.
No, you can just walk out of the map. Then I'll make a new map. That's okay. It's just. Yeah. I just hope that you don't do it at the start of the session, so I have some time to prepare a new map. But
of course. Yeah. I just said, do you want to go 13,000 years into the future? And you said yes, and I said, "Oh man!"
I thought you would say no.
Yeah, I thought you would say no. Stupid of me, I know, but yeah. So great question again. I hope that answered it as well for you, Mireneus. Next question.
But I have a question for Marineas. What the hell is up with that question?
This one is again by Mireneas, and he says, is the campaign for the Precipice of Dreams open for crossovers and guest appearances? And why?
Considering the source, I'm not surprised by this question. No. And why not? Okay.
Well, is this a no? I mean, I can.
But he's been telling me that he's expecting a crossover or at least a link with the Legacy of Time. Okay. Everything can happen there, and that's not gonna happen. This is something that's completely standalone, different from my other campaigns, and I want to keep it that way. There's clear
no
demarcation.
No to the crossover, but what about the guest appearances?
Guest appearances, I'm okay with. That sounds like fun. Like if he wants to play a character sometimes, then he's welcome to join us. Or maybe someone else. Who knows? That just sounds.
Of course, fun. You have to donate 20 subscriptions, but then yes, of course.
Oh no, maybe a Patreon reward. You get.
That's funny. No, of course not. But you will have a bigger chance. Anyway.
We shall clip the no
campaign survives the players. Yeah, that's true.
Context.
Chat perks should not be limited to just naming the barkeep. So if you have any other...
okay. Ideas, so that's another application for... okay. We'll see. I'm sure I have some great ideas for this kind of stuff.
You know,
need a new overlay though. That's
I need a new overlay. Well, I'm actually looking forward to a player joining us for a session or two.
Yeah,
I don't know when that will happen, and doesn't have to be tomorrow. Doesn't have to be in the next year, but that moment would be great. When we would get there. Yeah. So next question.
Also, no crossovers with other existing characters. This is a new universe. That just to finish answering that question.
Yeah. What do the two Bowens know about each other, and in which voice will you answer that question?
Oh my god.
Well. Now, this triggered two things. I'm going to tell you a bit about what they know about each other, but only to explain some stuff that I have already said in game, because I will not go any farther with that. The other thing is the voice, because as last session I had quite a raspy voice at the end of the session, and it hurt a bit. And then I thought, why am I doing this? But because normally the voice that I play with is my own voice. It's not a different voice. And when I, for example, read to my kids a book, the main character has my voice because he will be talking the most, and other characters might have different voices, different sounds to the names, or different accent and everything. But the main character always has my voice. And so Bowen has my voice, but this other Bowen is so distinct that I had to do something with it, and it couldn't be the same voice. It had to be a totally different thing. So this is actually the first time that I'm giving one of my characters another voice, which is not that strange because in a way it's the second character I've ever played. But and I'm loving it, but it's pretty hard at the same time. So I'm going to answer you in your question in this voice. And now, what Dark Bowen, or Darkheart Bowen, Bowen Darkheart has already said is that he does somewhat. He is aware of the other Bowen in a way, and I'm still trying to decide to what degree for myself. So I think I can say something about that. And that is not to say that I, in specific situations, I know what he knows, but in the general
Sit close to your mic. No one can hear you.
In general, no, I was silent for a moment. So
Okay.
that's in general, I don't know. I don't know the specifics. Let's put it that way. And other Bowen,
and that's okay too. The character doesn't have to be fully thought out when you start playing, and sometimes the pieces will just fit at some point, and then you'll decide then, and that's okay.
Yeah, and that's what I experienced when playing Bowen Goodhart as well. The moment I started playing him, I thought, oh, this is a bit different than my biography tells me to play him, but it was Bowen immediately at the same time. And Bowen Darkheart is the same. From the moment I started using that voice, I knew, this is him. And now I understand why he does the things he does. And I really like that. But Bowen Goodhart, so to say, Darkheart is not really his name. You know that, right? Darkheart is just in parentheses because to distinguish them. And he's not called Evil Heart. The other Bowen, as you might have noticed, kind of suppresses his experiences. Can talk about them, but he cannot really talk about them, so to say. Which was, I think, was pretty obvious in the boar scene in like episode 10, I think. Episode 11. Yeah. And he didn't really handle that situation, as you might have noticed.
True. That's true.
And yeah. And he certainly doesn't know that this other Bowen is far more aware of him than he's of, because he's not aware, in a way. Yeah.
It's gonna be interesting when you guys when he resurfaces, and the other party members might or might not tell that Bowen about Darkheart.
Yeah, I'm very. I'm looking forward to that moment. I'm wondering if that will be in 2 sessions or 10, or 20.
I don't know. I
don't know either. Yeah. Stay here indefinitely. So and then there's the last question, which I just thought was kind of funny because I think Sir Skankerot sometimes tells me some things. I think he's not here right now. And I just make it a question, like I did last episode. And this question is, Roger, you tired? You be leveling?
But yeah, I've been leveling. I'm a level 50 man. That's no, I actually a lot of my guildies just he's talking about World of Warcraft, a new expansion released yesterday, and a lot of my guildies just pulled an all-nighter, but I couldn't because I had to take my kids to school early this morning. So I just grabbed a couple of hours of sleep and then took my kids to school, and then I did the grind. And I was, I think I dinged 60 like an hour before the show. So I put in the work, but I'm not there yet. There's more
so it's a bit of a spoof question, but I thought it was pretty funny because you had Dungeons and Dragons as well yesterday, of course. So it's in between sessions.
It was also kind of weird that we ended the Dungeons and Dragons session and we went straight into the Shadowlands launch, and it was a weird day as well. And then a couple of hours sleep, and then I had the entire day today to just play the game and enjoy myself, which I did.
So that was my light note at the end of the show, which means we are getting to the end of the show. And when we get to the end of the show, we have another reveal. But this time the reveal is, what will be the next topic? That's still a surprise, because I think it's cool to have it be a surprise because we will have a guest, and that's enough of a surprise, and that's enough of a cool...
Michel is also a guest. This is your show. Michel will be your guest, but then we have a special guest.
Then we have a special guest, yeah. So careful cantrip for those who weren't in chat. I was getting there, but thank you. So careful cantrip will be our guest, specifically Dungeon Master Dave. And I'm looking forward to that. And Michel is kind of special, but he is...
I don't know. That sounds weird again, Because
I understand.
That's just a polite way of saying that he's an idiot. Michel's kind of special.
Okay, Michel's kind of cool. Yeah. And Careful Cantrip is our very honored guest on our next episode, and we'll make a nice show out of it. And they've been here for the whole show, so that's cool. And
I'm actually
Roger.
Kind of disappointed that I'm not here next show, because it sounds like it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, well, I could do that, but then I have to make an whole other.
No. It's okay. Then everyone can join in. We should do that one time, also as well, just with the entire crew.
Yeah, would be fun. Yeah.
But we'll see. So no new topic.
No new topic.
That's a disappointment as well. So
I think we'll be announcing it at the end of the Precipice of Dreams, or at the start of the Precipice of Dreams, and then
only 6 more days there.
Only 6 more days. So next Monday will be our Precipice of Dreams adventure at 8:30, and the Monday after that parallel projections again, and then the Tuesday after that Monday, which is the next day at 9:00, Talking Void with Careful Cantrip. And awesome. Well, that kind of finishes our show for the evening. Did you have fun?
I did, yes. That's really fun. The topic was great as well. It's a nice topic for 2 DMs, and led to some interesting discussions and interesting answers.
Yeah.
So I hope that everyone that sent in their answer to the question was satisfied with the way we handled it, because they were all cool, and I hope we conveyed that in a good manner.
I think so. I hope so. I think so. Yeah. I feel a kind of silence setting in. So I would like to say, near, far, wherever.
No, it's
the end of the show.
Yeah, no,
the show
boo,
as we know it. It's the end of the show as we know it, and I feel fine. Anyway.
Yeah. So I'm glad we had some really awkward moments as well, because where would we be without cringe, right?
Indeed. We have to have some cringe at some point, and
even Michel said stop it already.
Okay, let's stop it. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Thanks everyone, and see you later.